Kol hashoneh halachot b'chol yom. Anyone? So we have two mitzvot today. Today is, by the way, the 5th of the month of Tishrey, Erev Shabbat Kodesh, September 30th, 2022. So the first mitzvah is going to be mitzvah number 9. We are to destroy all chametz from your houses. And mitzvah number 10 we're going to discuss. And this is very easy to remember. Mitzvah number 10 is achilat matzah on Pesach. Eating matzah on Pesach night, which is the 15th of, it's mitzvah d'oraita. Okay, let's go. Let's start. So today's shiur is the Nishmat Yecheskel Nathanael ben Rabbi Bishai Halevi alav shalom ולרפואה שלמה לכל עם ישראל בכללם, לחיה בת לאה וגם anybody else say רפואה שלמה? השם send me רפואה שלמה also בעזרת השם. Alright. להסיר כל לחם חמץ ממשכנותינו ביום 14 בניסן. We're obligated to completely annihilate, destroy, and make disappear, completely get it out of our property, anywhere and anywhere anything that you own. Ad k'dei kach, the halacha is the Elal owner. You know who the owner is? I think it's Rosenberg, somebody, a Jewish guy, very nice guy. He owns about 1,500 nursing homes in America, but now he owns Elal. He is obligated to clean every matos, every airplane has to be chametz free. Every airplane has to be chametz free. So what does he do? He appoints, or he sells them. You know, there's a lot of business that you could do, and there's a lot of ways to get rid of chametz from your house. So follow the halachot and ask your local rabbi. However, mitzvah. So now it says in Shemot, on the 12th chapter, 15 pasuk. Ach v'yom harishon tashbitu seor mibatechem. It says in the Torah of the first day to destroy all the seor, all the livid, which is what anything that's frozen, any dough that's frozen from your houses. Upirush, an explanation is rishon kodem lePesach. What is rishon? Rishon means the first. So how come we're doing it on the 14th? So over there, the rabbi teaches in Gemara, explaining it. It actually means right before Pesach, which alludes to the 14th after Machatzot. Mishoshem mitzvah zu, kadesh nizkor hanisim. As we already said, the aspect of the Korban Pesach we discussed earlier, a few mitzvot, the last mitzvah from mitzvah 6, I believe, and on, we're discussing already relationship to matzah, Korbanot, Pesach, and everything. So over here is the same thing. We are obligated to remember the miracles of coming out of Egypt. Korban Pesach, as we learned. Dinei mitzvah, kigon sha'ed bi'iruro min hayom matay. So you have certain rules regarding this mitzvah of destroying and getting rid of all the hametz and all the things that are rose, any dough that has rose from your house. There's a lot of inclusions, obviously. Let's say, we know that the glue, in the olden days, the glue was made with dough. Mamish dough, hametz. And really, the Sfarim, the Rachamim said, no, once it became krum, it became hard, so that would be mutar. It was allowed to leave all the svarim around that had chametz as glue, okay? Because the dogs would not eat it, so there's other rules. However, if something that is fresh, right, lechoyer, there's glue, maybe a dog will eat it if it's fresh. I don't know. So that lechoyer, you wouldn't, mistama. A dog is a dog. He's going to eat whatever you give him. So mistama, that would be asur to hold if it's fresh. There's a lot of discussions. Let's say we Sfaradim are not noeg to get rid of the shoe polish. Shoe polish also has grain, whatever it's made out of grain. Ashkenazim are very makpid. Ashkenazim will not allow shoe polish in their houses on Pesach. Whatever, that's the machloket. That's the machloket. You might eat it, yeah. The dog may eat it, but we're saying no, since it's not even recognizable anymore. We are not. We have no problem with the shoe polish in our house on Pesach. However, some Ashkenazim are machmir. Again, there's a lot of hamarot, and all those chumrot are great for Am Yisrael. They bring only zechuyot. The chumrot bring only zechuyot. You have to know that. Okay, umihi ashmatoto uba ze makom tzarich le'afsho uba ze makom ein tzarich umematay modonet hamitzvah alav im yotze lederech. So we have all the kind of discussions. When you are obligated to get rid of the hametz, how you do it. What about if you just go out on the way and you leave your house, like many people today, going to hotels for Pesach, right? So what are the relationships? What about if the 14th of Nisan is on Shabbat? right? We have a lot of issues over there. How to go around it? How to eat chametz? I eat chametz on Shabbat, right? We eat chametz. We eat pita. We buy pita specifically on Shabbat.
It's also crummy. It's not a crummy bread.
It's not a crummy bread. Yeah, there's a lot of rules how to make sure. And where you eat, many people eat in the balcony. Here in Florida, there shouldn't be a problem.
People eat out of the bag because that's a minute.
I used to go eat out of the bag,
Yeah.
like a scroll, scrolls. Eat a little bit on the side, no chametz and that. Everything is plastic, right? Okay, that's all those discussions. Also, after there is a part of this mitzvah, the Rabbi says over here, that you do destroying chametz, you also have to say bitul, annulling of all the chametz. That's part of this whole mitzvah of number 9 of destroying chametz, is by saying I'm mevatalit, meaning you actually have in your house, in front of you, somewhere there, and hiding in the holes or whatever it is, you have a bread. So what are you saying exactly? What are you doing? You're saying it's like it's like a dust in the earth, and therefore you mevatel it, and now it becomes like it's edible. Maybe it could be still edible, but it's not yours anymore, and it's lust in your eyes and in your mind, and that's also called biur. That's called destruction. So over there, we in the first chapter of Pesachim, it discusses over there more the rules. This mitzvah of destruction of all chametz is an obligation for males and females, and even in the moon. Let's say you live in the moon somehow. They start colonizing in the moon somehow, or in the Mars, whatever the goyim are thinking about, and some Jews decide to go there. Still, the obligation is to get rid of the chametz. How are you going to go about time? I don't know. There's no time. Somebody told me that the time doesn't turn over there or something. I don't know, in space. But anyway, anywhere in the world you live in, that's what you have to mikayem this mitzvah of destroying all chametz on the 14th after midday before Pesach itself. Let's see the person who is transgresses avera. It doesn't destroy chametz. ולא השיבותו ביטל עשה דתשביתו. So a person what? Right? So we said it's a mitzvah aseh. You have a mitzvah here aseh to destroy all the chametz. Let's say a person didn't destroy the chametz. What happens to him? So he transgressed this tashbitu. He transgressed the mitzvah that commands me to do something. ואם יש חמץ במשכנותיו עובר גם כן על לא תעשה. However, this person did not destroy chametz in his house, and he has in possession chametz. He's going to transgress another avera of not allowed to have chametz. Shneimar, as it says over there in Shmot, the 12th chapter, 19th pasuk, seor lo imatzeh bebitechem. You're not allowed to have any livid things that are in your houses. However, for this number 9, right? En lokin alav zeh. Why? You don't get lashes for this prohibition?
Of what?
Of not destroying chametz, leaving chametz in your house.
Because you didn't do anything. It's a lack of knowledge.
That's right. Lav shem b'maaseh. There is no action here. You just left it alone. Any prohibition of the Torah that does not have an action that comes along with it, there is no lashes for it. Now, mitzvah number 10. Let's remember it. Minyan. Asara Dibrod. Number 10 is such a significant in our lifetime. We all love number 10, right? 10 makos, the makos 10, right? Everybody sings the song. Now you know mitzvah number 10. Mitzvah number 10 is achilat matzah b'Pesach. You are obligated to eat matzah on Pesach. Let's see. Lechol lechem matzah b'leil chamishi asar b'Nisan. We have an obligation. Mitzvah number 10. Let's remember it. Put it in our hearts. Remember it forever. That mitzvah number 10 is to eating matzah on Pesach, which is the first day of Pesach, the 15th. Hayasun min dagan, that has to be made out of grain. Shneimar, it says over there in the pasuk in Shmot, 12th chapter, 18th pasuk. Be'erev tochlu matzot. At night you must eat matzot. So to the Yom Rishon, which meant during the day, which is the 14th after Chatzot, that means Yom Rishon in the Torah over here, and you destroy all the chametz. But now at night you have a commandment to eat matzah. The sages have explained to us in Torah, it actually means the 15th of the night. בין בזמן שיהיה שם פסח, או בזמן שלא יהיה שם פסח. Now the question is, what is Pesach? Pesach is Korban Pesach, right? So it doesn't matter, regardless if we have actual animal that we shechted and slaughtered, and the Mikdash, we threw the blood on the Mizbeach, and using it as a Korban Pesach, and regardless, you have a Korban, you don't have a Korban, it's a mitzvah d'oraita on the 9th of the 15th, only the 9th. That's why we make a bracha, asher kiddishanu, b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, al achilat matzah. It's a mitzvah d'oraita. That's why it's asher kiddishanu. However, on the next day when you eat an afternoon, the afternoon meal, you don't make al achilat matzah because it's not d'oraita. Are you gonna say, what about on the 16th of the night we chutz la'aretz make a bracha?
Sofer.
Because it's really maybe it's 15th,
Well,
and because it's a minhag and Am Yisrael is mekabel the minhag that the 2 days of chutz la'aretz we make al achilat matzah again, and it's not a contradiction. That's just like you make shechianu on the 2 days of Yom Tov and the Kiddush, and for us Bukharians especially, we make shechianu on the candles. Our wives are obligated, with all due respect, all kavod to Rabbi Ovadia Yosef and Moran Shulchan Aruch. We have minhag of Bukharians. It is an obligation for a woman, a Bukharian woman, to light candles on Shabbat and Yom Tov, and if it's a Yom Tov, they make a shechianu even in the 2 days. Mishoshei mitzvah azu, ma shekatuv bekorban Pesach. That's very important. We also make shechianu on Yom Kippur. Right?
Right.
Candlelight.
Yeah.
That's it. Shechianu, Yikimanu. We can Baruch Hashem survive the whole year, and hopefully for many, many hundreds of years to come. Mishoshei mitzvah azu, ma shekatuv bekorban Pesach. As we already explained, the connection of this mitzvah, what's the purpose? The whole purpose is to remember the Yetzias Mitzrayim, the miracle that Hashem has performed for us from coming up out of Mitzrayim. The mitzvah, what is connected in the rules of this mitzvah? Kegon, sheyemor atzarech lemitzvat, ve'inyan liyasetan, lishtan, ubay ze mayim, ninushit, so it says like this. How do you שימור צריך למצות ועניין לשתן. Okay, so the matzah, what do we eat? Everybody is noheg to eat on that night, especially the first night. Shmura, matzah shmura. It has to be very careful, and that's what Am Yisrael Baruch Hashem is noheg today. All over the world you find matzah shmura, which is very, very important to make sure it's not had any water even dripping on grains. Even though there's a law in America that nobody's allowed to sell grain without washing it with chloride first. You know that, right? There's a law. There's a prohibition. There's a prohibition. One of the rules of the health department. Let me point it out. The health department of America, really, that they care about our lives so much, but they have a rule that you cannot sell grain without washing the grain at all. And Baruch Hashem, there are a lot of farmers and a lot of people in America don't follow that rule, and they shouldn't follow such rules. Okay? Because it's asur. If you did it, if you washed it, if you washed the grain, even though you grind it later and it's all dry and nice and dandy, it's a chametz 100%. Okay, as we already explained over there. Now, let's see. Let's see what happens to a person who doesn't want to eat a matzah. What are you going to do with him? Huh?
Doesn't want to?
Doesn't want to eat matzah. I don't know. This mitzvah is obligation for every man and woman anytime, even in the moon. A person who does not eat matzah on the first night of Pesach, it's mitzvah d'oraita, an obligation, mitzvah number 10. Remember that? Kvar amarnu that what shebei din kofin al bitul aseh. Over here, what is he saying? He's telling us there isn't a bitul aseh. So the Beit Din will issue out, I guess, a strong verdict that a person has to eat the matzah because that's a d'oraita. Now there is no what's his name? There is no lashes for this matzah, right? Because he didn't do action, he didn't eat, right? For eating a piece of hazir or a steak that's trefa, a person will get lashed, but not eating matzah because it's matzah aseh kumaseh. And for that, you don't get lashed if you don't perform it. Okay, so the Rabbi tells us to go to Mitzvah Vav over here. There is such a thing as called kofin. The Beit Din is kofir. The Beit Din forces him to fulfill the mitzvah. I'm trying to figure out where is he talking about it. Let's talk about the mitzvah vav. There's the same rules over here. He said to go in eating korban pesach. Korban pesach. Somebody doesn't want to eat korban pesach also. Okay, so that's the lashon. The lashon is that the Beit Din, if they have strength, they could give him until he accepts on himself to eat it. What does that mean? The stomach, it means the Beit Din could give him lashes. The Beit Din could force him. That's Beit Din, not from the Doraita. Remember, we have such a thing that we have makat maradut. I'm trying to figure out if that's what it means here. Okay, so he says over here that the Beit Din has to force him if they have their strength. So the only way the Beit Din could force somebody,
Can't shove it down his mouth.
of course not. Beat him up. Yeah. You beat him up. We give him lashes. Okay. No, it doesn't. Kfiyah. Okay, so he says over here kfiyah. Okay, let's see in Minchas Chinuch. בכלל גדול בכל התורה. למה המתין הרב המעבר עם הכלל עד כאן? לא כתב במצוות עשה הקודמות. אפשר לומר שאינו חידוש. אפילו בכפייה נעשית המצווה בשלימות. So he says, even if Beit Din forces him, the question is, so how does he fulfill the mitzvah? He didn't do it out of his heart. No. If you force him, as Rambam tells us, that there is such a concept as he allowed to force a person to do the mitzvah, because really he wants to do the mitzvah. Everybody wants to do the mitzvah, but why is he not doing the mitzvah? Because he has the Eitzer Hara. So beat him up. Beat that Eitzer Hara out of him, Rambam says, and that's how he's going to fulfill the mitzvah of the mitzvah, whatever you want him to do. Whatever Hashem commanded him. If this guy is playing games, so fix him. So again, how many lashes we said? The Rabbanan?
Up to
10,000.
10,000.
Even 10,000 lashes the Rabbanan will give him. And Bezrat Hashem, have a wonderful Shabbat. It's Rabot.